Hi folks, my name is Scott Anderson. I'm a principal support engineer for Dell Pro Support, and I want to throw together a little video here real quick on how to install or properly install an nVidia GRID GPGPU card into a Dell R720, R730, or a Dell Precision Workstation 7910. Sometimes there's problems, I guess, in the field with customers, installing these cards and not getting them quite installed correctly. So I was just going to go through the process here real quick and hit on some important details to go along with it. Just show you here, we're working with a PowerEdge R720 here today, and we're going to be installing an nVidia GRID K1 card. So this is a really nice video card here that's going to handle probably 100 I believe 16 to 32 virtual machines to allow them to use virtualized graphics adapters inside the virtual machines. The server will eventually be running ESXi. So also want to point out one of the important pieces right here. This is a secondary power cable, okay? So, and any kind of higher end graphics card, any of the GRID line, is going to require external power. So as you can see here, it's going to plug into the PCIe bus here. That's going to draw some power, but not enough to make this guy go. This guy uses, I think, about 60 watts, 70 watts of power, and it's not going to be able to get that through the bus. So that's why we have these additional power cables here that tap into your risers inside your system here. So you can see we've already got one riser power cable hooked up here, ready to go. But it'll tap into the back end of either riser 2 or riser 3 here and provide power. We're going to be installing the K1 card in this bay right here. Okay. So, and it's a pretty simple process because really, I mean, this guy's just gonna plug right into here. It's going to take up a double height here, so it's going to take up 2 slots on the back end of your server or any PCI riser that you install it into. So the max that any R2 or R720 or R730 can handle is 2 of these double height GRID cards. Okay, so I'm going to take a pause here real quick and just install the video card itself into the PCI slot, and we'll be back in a second. All right, and we're back, and now we have our GRID nVidia GRID card installed here. Now, thing I didn't mention earlier is you probably want to install the power cord before you put this GRID card into your system. Okay. The important part is that over here on this side, the riser power is here, but this dude, I mean, it blocks up all of this space here, and there's necessary airflow that's got to come through on this top end here. It's got airflow on the R720s goes from the front to the back here, so you need to kind of keep this space here open. So what we did is pre-installed the cable and just ran it underneath the installation of the GRID card. We can kind of see that over here on this riser 2 where this cable's already on board, but it's a real simple process. You have an 8-pin in, tap that into the riser there, and then just route it underneath here. It's got a little extra slot, a little extra space here to get your power cable across, because the power connector for the GRID card is on this corner of the GRID card. Okay, so, and on the K1 cards, we've got a 6-port power in. I believe on the K2s, they have an 8-port power in, and I can't really speak to the M60s yet. We are selling those, but I have not seen one of those yet, but I'm presuming it's probably either certainly a 6 or an 8-pin. You'll have that capability because on the white connector here, you've got a 6-pin port, and also on the other side, you have a 6-pin with an extra 2 pins to put together to make an 8-pin. Okay, so again, this cable is should only support 1 GRID card in an optimal scenario. Because remember, this guy's 2 slots wide, so you're going to only be able to have 1 GRID card in a single riser slot. So you can pick a 6-pin or an 8-pin. Okay. Other little details that are important when you install this card. Okay. There's a couple of little widgets here. Once you install this card, to make sure it is actually seated in there properly and fully, there are 2 pins or kind of little latches here. But once you get the card installed, you need to make sure those latches are fully engaged to help keep that card in place and not let it move around. It's not like, you know, you're going to have an earthquake in your data center or anything. But, you know, if you do some power cycles and stuff, whatnot, it can, you know, loosen its way up. So these will make sure that this grid card does not move out of there. As well, if you're a bigger shop and you configure your systems at your home office in your data center and then ship them out to other locations, yeah, this will help prevent it from shifting while, you know, the card from moving while it's being shipped. Okay, and something else I wanted to point out, should have pointed out here early on. Okay, always ground yourself on these systems. Okay, whenever you're dealing with an enterprise server system, you know, anything new, you got to ground yourself. Any little bit of static shock or discharge on this board, it's going to do one thing: bad stuff. Okay, so make sure you ground yourself. Take care of your equipment here. It'll take care of you a lot longer. Okay, so let's go ahead and get the power plugged in here. Okay, we're going to work on getting this twisted around properly, and really it's just a matter of just tapping it in. Okay, and then tuck the cables, and you're good to go. So there you have it, folks. That is the physical installation of an nVidia GRID graphics card into a Dell R720, R730, or Precision 7910 workstation. Hope you enjoyed this. Hope it helps you. Just remember, you gotta have the power cables. Y'all take care.